on the Water has been brought to you by Here we have with us today John Willow Williams, Victorian Ocean Racer of the Year 2005 and a long campaigner of ocean racing. Willow, welcome to On the Water.
Pleasure to be here, Tim.
Oh, sensational, mate. I love it how you use me Christian name there, mate. Brilliant. Now, how long have you been into yachting for?
Not long, about a little over 50 years, I think.
50 years. What keeps you so interested?
Just the pleasure of the sport, the pleasure of the company.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, that's a bloody brave statement, mate. How did you get into it originally?
I started sailing when a cousin of mine's father bought him a little Sabo at Elwood. And that seemed like a bit of fun, so I just grew from there.
Oh, sensational, mate. You were named Victorian Ocean Racer of the Year last year. How did that make you feel?
Oh, it was pretty good. It's always nice to be recognised by your peers. Unfortunately, I couldn't thank them when it was presented because I was parked in a creek up in Queensland delivering the boat up to Hamilton Island. But I will take this opportunity to thank the Ocean Racing Club for selecting me and Ronnie White and the White family for donating the trophy.
Now, the boat we're on, Bacardi, how old is it?
It was finally measured on New Year's Eve 1978.
Right, my mathematics aren't that good, we'll say 20 odd years old.
Make that about 27, 28 more or less.
28 years old. How? What are the vital statistics of the boat? How long is it? How high is the mast? What about the draft?
Same idea. I can tell you the length in feet and inches, it's 43'7". The height of the mast is 56 feet above the deck, and it draws 2.4 metres because the charts are in metres now, so I need to know that in metres.
Now, with the advent of the GPS, do you think that ocean racing has become simpler, or would you prefer to get back to the charts and the pencil and the ruler and all that kind of thing?
Certainly become simpler, but it makes it a better race, I think. If everyone knows exactly where they are, the tricky bit then is only working out how to get to where you want to go.
Well, that's a good point. We're off to King Island tonight. We're starting at, 11:15 from the heads?
Correct.
Now, starting in the dark, what's your opinion on that?
It's okay, as long as everyone's a little bit cautious.
Oh, I like that. We'll work on caution. What sort of preparation did you have to do to the boat in preparation for this ocean race?
There's not a lot of preparation on the boat. There's a few safety items like getting the life rafts out of the garage and putting them on the boat and all that sort of thing. The main work is actually getting all the food together. Which, fortunately, the first mate is retired, so he's got all day to do it.
Now, we were actually doing a bit of work on the winches and checking halyards and scrubbing the bottom of the boat. Now, I do notice that as a skipper, you don't like to get too close to the scrubbing of the bottom of the boat.
Weren't you here the other day?
No, as a matter of fact, I wasn't.
I thought so.
Bacardi has done how many Sydney to Hobarts?
I think it's 24.
You're not really into keeping the records too much, mate?
No, it doesn't matter much. Each one's a different race, isn't it?
It certainly is. How many Hobarts have you done personally?
Probably about the same, I think.
Right. Bacardi is a very well-known and very well-campaigned boat throughout Victoria, and he's still competitive within the ocean racing circuit. How do you maintain the competitiveness?
It's just a matter of trying to keep the gear up as good as we can afford and getting reasonable crew on, which we seem to manage most of the time. And going the right way, of course.
Oh, going the right way is always going to be a winner. You've had a lot of people cut their teeth on this boat for their first ocean race. Have you got a rough idea how many?
Well, the boat's been ocean racing for probably 27 years. That's about 4 or 5 a year, so that's, what? You did the maths on that. That's about 150 races, and we probably have a couple of tyros each race, so maybe about 300.
Jeez, I'll tell you, mate. Do you reckon that you got such a high turnover of crew because you're so interested in teaching them, or is there other reasons?
Well, not so much a high turnover of crew. What you've got to realise is that the basic crew is pretty stable, and there's just a few change around the edges.
Indeed, I'll tell you what, this man has introduced more people to ocean racing than I think just about anybody else in Australia. What has been your scariest moment ocean racing, mate?
That's a bit hard to pick, I'd have to say. This thing gets a bit scary when it's running downhill on a bit of a breeze on its own. But probably the 1998 Hobart was the area of most concern. I don't know about scared. It's not much point in being scared.
Seemed like a true ocean race. Final question before we go. Can I have a go?
Why not? Especially with the auto helm on.
Willow, thanks very much for being on the water.
Great pleasure.
On the Water has been brought to you by